Yesterday, Matt Gaetz withdrew himself from consideration to be Trump's attorney general. The announcement came just 45 minutes after CNN asked him to comment on the ethics committee report of also big-name Republicans who blocked his confirmation. Would you believe it? Well, like Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, two women, and even Mitch McConnell. He said niet. But Gaetz did have some supporters on the Hill. Watch.
What they're doing to former Congressman Gaetz is wrong. And if nobody is willing to stand up and say it, I came here to lobby it and say it out loud for everyone to hear.
And who are you looking to talk to? How has Matt Gaetz been wrong?
He's no longer within the purview or jurisdiction of the Ethics Committee as a former member, and this is a witch hunt now.
Remember him? Remember him?
Not that the information's wrong.
Yeah, that was the disgraced ex-Congressman Santos. So, you know, I was thinking, there's no role for this guy in the administration? He has 23 criminal charges. That should qualify for wire fraud, money laundering, and making false statements to the House of Representatives. He's a perfect nominee. So, but here's a serious question. Do you think that the fact that they did not let this go through on Matt Gaetz sends a hopeful sign to the half of the country that didn't vote for these people?
I'm taking wins where I can get them, to be honest. I think Matt Gaetz would have been one of the most dangerous, reckless, and just a terrible choice and totally unqualified for attorney general. And I think it gives us a little glimmer of hope that Republicans are taking their advice and consent role seriously. I'm going to be looking over the next few months to my centrist queens, Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins. They only need 3 votes to be able to block any of these people. Also keep an eye on Mitch McConnell, Todd Young, Bill Cassidy, some of these people who esteem the Senate and I think aren't going to want people to get in there who are dangerous. But here's what I will say. I think now that Gaetz is out of the spotlight and not taking up all the oxygen in the room, there's going to be renewed scrutiny on Pete Hegseth. And initially I was like, I don't think he's that bad of an actor. He served our country. The more we're learning about him, he has credible sexual misconduct allegations, but he also would be the single least qualified Secretary of Defense in history, overseeing 3 million people across the globe in 160 countries, and would be one of 2 people on the planet who can deploy the U.S. military. So I think this is one that folks need to be like, is a Fox News host who's never managed anyone or many people really somebody who should be the Secretary of Defense in the line of succession for the president?
Well, so we have to watch him.
I want to take my wins where we get them, so I'm happy that anything is better than Matt Gaetz. Literally anything. Anything for me is better than Matt Gaetz. But I think this is less about like any kind of safeguard or standing up for what's right, because I think it says more about how hated he was. I don't think this was people finding a backbone and saying, you know, this is out of bounds. And it needs to be, because the accusations of some of the people we've been speaking about, including Hegseth, that shouldn't be a right-left thing. That should be a right-wrong thing. Because obviously when you voted for someone else, I voted for Kamala Harris, the people they choose are going to disagree with me on policy. Right. That's okay. But when you have these types of allegations sitting around so many of these people, I will also be watching the Hegseth, Alyssa, because I think if they stand up to Hegseth, I would have more faith that there are people looking out, because Gaetz was just universally despised, and his reputation is coming back to
Ted Cruz, and he won again.
Not in his state, though. He's liked in Texas.
It actually gave me some solace, you know, because we do have to have checks and balances, and the role of the Senate is for advice and consent. And I was you know, very worried that Trump saying that he wanted these recess appointments, and I think he really thought that he could put someone up like Matt Gaetz, someone that he hadn't really vetted, someone that he just sort of put in there as nominated him as a whim, thinking that he had the Senate and that they would not object. Well, he doesn't have the Senate. He doesn't have Murkowski. He doesn't have Collins. He doesn't have.
Looking at the women in the view, we all know that President Donald Trump, for a while, have been trying to have his own cabinet and his own people that are going to rule with him. Of course, that's what happened with every president. Every president that comes new, they want to bring on board their own people that will work with them. So, of course, President Donald Trump is bringing his own people. And according to him, Matt Gaetz, we all know Matt Gaetz was a supporter, very supportive of Donald Trump. He played a great role also for Donald Trump's second term in office, and he was being assigned to be over like his head, one of the head administrative in his President Donald Trump government. But we all know that in the United States, for example, they always say that if you want to go far, you have to be careful with your life. From the time you're born, you start knowing good or bad. Even as a baby, you can't control yourself, but certain things that happen to your life, if you want to become a public figure, like to impact the community, they will go back to your lifestyle and take you from where you've been born and bring that out. We have seen that it's all work, so that's why even as a parent, especially in this country, you have to start telling your kids at that young age that they know wrong is bad. Even you as a parent, you know that I want my child to be in the corridors of power, to help change the law of the land. Anything in life that will excel, know that to impact the life of people, you as a parent have to start playing that role. Because if you don't, if that child grow up and exceed in life, and they come back to his or her background, like when he was born, certain things happen, he will be pulled down. The same people that raise him up, they will pull that child down. So we see this what happened with Gaetz. The woman came up and talked about Gaetz was sexually harassed her, and Gaetz even pay off the weakness. But you see, and he's guilty. He's denied that he's not guilty, but he's guilty of it. So that alone make the people don't want to choose him to be what Donald Trump want him to be. Should in case he didn't have this scandal, nothing. He could have ruled. He could have even excelled. So the women they view said that you prefer the other lady more than her, although the lady lied also, and they say she's going to be President Donald Trump Anthony. But to some of the women in the video, they say they prefer her. It's better to lie. But someone like some of the also say no, they don't have to ignore somebody who wants to become a lawyer to be a liar. They also don't know anybody who is fighting for a woman's right will not choose over a man who assault a woman, who have no respect for a woman, who violate a woman, than a woman who lied. Although both of them are not good things, but they will prefer someone who will make a woman not to who will not molest a woman. So by the way, what do you have to tell me about this? Can I see your own opinion? What do you prefer, Gaetz or the other lady? And what do you think? What's your own advice for the people? Let me see your own opinion in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. If you're not subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe and help share the video. God bless you.